Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at some Ewoks. This is pretty much all the Ewoks that I have in my collection, which isn't very many. Unfortunately, getting these sets that contain the Ewok characters tends to be kind of difficult in the history of recent Star Wars toys. These front three all come from the Power of the Force action figure line from the 1990s. And the first one we're going to look at is Wicket. And obviously this is the most well-known of the Ewoks, the one that has sort of a starring role in the film, much more of a participant in the battle. And also he is the one who kind of like makes the first alliance between the rebels and the Ewoks when he encounters Princess Leia. So really cool looking figure, and I think they did a pretty good job in terms of the rendering out of the fur and everything. And obviously he comes with a spear and also this headgear. So very cool figure. And he came packed in with Logray. So this is the other. This was sold as a 2-pack. And I actually had a carded example of it in my collection for a while. But a friend of mine, he actually asked me, he was looking for a Star Wars item to give to his nephew. And he was asking me, you don't happen to have any Ewoks in your collection, do you? And I'm like, yeah, I have like a spare carded version of Wicket and Logray. So I just went ahead and gave it to him because I had these loose examples, and so he was able to get a gift for his nephew. So that kind of worked out quite well, but again, it means I don't have a carded example to show you. But, you know, I do have these loose examples, and Logray's looking pretty cool. He's got a cool headgear, and he also comes with this staff and also a bag that's kind of removable as well. So this headgear is removable. Actually, you can kind of peel it off over top of those ears. Kind of comes off a little bit difficult, but you can see what the head of the figure looks like underneath there. Really cool looking figure. Very happy to have this one in my collection. And the third Ewok that they released in the Power of the Force line is this one. And I don't know the name of this character. He basically came in the Complete Galaxy set, which came with this mini version of Endor. And the figure itself, this is the guy who's on a glider, and he sort of drops stones on top of one of the AT-ST walkers. So, and he comes with the glider wings, which is really cool. So you can see what these look like. They kind of fold up like this, and then he kind of hooks into the back of this like this, with it just pegs into his back like that. And to activate it, there's a little lever right here. So all you have to do is kind of flip that up, and the wings actually pop out like that. So it looks very cool. And again, you can kind of reenact that scene. If you got the AT-ST walker, basically you can sort of reenact the scene where this guy flies overhead and then drops the rocks on the top of the AT-ST. So pretty cool looking. I definitely like the way this Ewok glider kind of deploys. So that's very cool. And I can show you the Complete Galaxy Endor that came with this. So they give you like this little globe version of Endor, and the globe actually opens up, and inside of there you get like a little scene. So in the original packaging, the glider was actually hooked onto this, and also at this point as well. And he was sort of hovering over top of, you can see the toppled AT-ST sort of in this forest scene. It's kind of crudely done, but actually, when these were presented in the package, it actually looked pretty cool. And, you know, these globes are kind of interesting because you can kind of, you know, mark out the landmarks on each planet. I believe I have a couple of others of these in my collection as well. And each one of them comes with a stand, and you can kind of display each planet from the galaxy of Star Wars. So kind of a cool gimmick. And I have two other figures in my collection, and these are both of the same character, although looking at them, they actually look quite different from each other. So they could almost pass as two different Ewoks if you really wanted to. So this is Tebow, and this was released in the Power of the Jedi line. So Power of the Jedi was sort of the follow-up to Power of the Force. The packaging style was kind of similar. Pictures on the front of the package, imagery up here in the corner, and then on the back you can see some of the other characters that were offered in this. I do have Bo Shek. He's one of the characters who occupies my cantina, and they have a brief write-up here on Tebow on the back of the package. And the figure looks pretty cool too. I've been keeping this one in the package because these Ewok characters, they have a lot of value because they're actually kind of hard to find. And there may come a moment where I want to part with this particular figure. But because I do have obviously the vintage collection version, which I can show you. And if you look at them side by side, as you can see, the vintage collection version is much shorter. And also the coloration and the detailing is actually significantly different from the Power of the Jedi version. So, and he comes with different accessories as well. The headgear on this one is actually significantly different from the earlier version. You can see it has these like little tusks on top, whereas that version doesn't have those. So, and the color of it is quite different. So this one seems to be quite a bit more screen accurate. And also there's several other implements that come with this. The original version just came with a spear. So this version comes with a lot more accessories. And there's a variant version of the headgear as well that comes with this too, without the lower part. So pretty interesting. Also comes with this necklace and a small knife. So in terms of extra accessories, this one is far superior. And obviously the articulation, because this is a vintage collection figure, is going to be a lot superior to the original one. But I do like that original one. Again, it was really great to get another Ewok. And in terms of the other Ewoks that have actually been done, so there's quite a few. The one that I regret not buying when I actually saw it was the Toys R Us exclusive. So that one came in the packaging. It was sort of blue in color. It had like Darth Maul up in the corner. So there was a 5-pack. And I think the reason I didn't buy it is because it also had Tebow in it. But it had 4 other Ewoks. It had Flitchy, Nanta, Nisa, and Tippett. And so I think for whatever reason, probably the price point is what made me not buy that, because I think at the time that came out, I just didn't have enough money to actually afford it. So I regret not picking that up because it would have added 4 more characters to my collection. There's a 30th anniversary Ramba and Grak 2-pack. There's a Legacy collection, Noah pack, and Paplu. Paplu also get the treatment in the vintage collection, I believe. So I may try and track that one down. There's also a vintage collection, Assault Catapult, which comes with 2 Ewoks as well. So there may be other ones out there, but these things seem to be very rare. I've looked online for a number of these, and like that Toys R Us exclusive set, I think it goes for like $200 or something like that, like on eBay. And I'm just sort of like, no way will I ever justify paying $200 for a packet of Ewoks. It just doesn't make sense to me. But it is that way because, that set, you just can't get it anymore. And the particular characters that are offered, they're just not available. So I'm always on the lookout to add more Ewoks to my collection. I don't know why they haven't really got the proper treatment. Probably because the Ewoks, some people really don't like them at all just because they are kind of cutesy. And I know when Return of the Jedi originally came out, some people kind of reacted badly to the fact that these little teddy bears basically were able to beat up on stormtroopers. It didn't really seem that plausible in a lot of cases. But those guys did have the home field advantage. They obviously knew how to fight in the forest a lot better than the stormtroopers. So there is some degree of possibility that they could win in that battle. But yeah, they do seem to be outgunned, certainly by the stormtroopers, in terms of all the armaments and so forth. But I still love that movie. I think it's great, and it doesn't really detract, at least in my opinion, from the storytelling. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more installments of the series that I have on my channel called Power of the Force Memories, you should think about subscribing because there'll be a lot more episodes of it coming in the future. Until next time, I hope you're having a great day, and may the Force be with you. Thanks for watching.